Number 2, the most important document you will ever write. Now, as I said before, I have read more than 100,000 resumes in the course of my career. I sinned in a past life. I am being punished for it because, trust me, I have seen some absolute shockers over the years. When I was writing Resume Karma a few years ago, I was trying to work out, well, look, what makes a successful resume? What is it about some resumes that seems to get them an interview and other resumes not? Now, if you think on average, for the kind of role that I would recruit for, I'm probably getting around 50 applications. I may only want to interview 5 people. So you immediately go into that particular race with a 1 in 10 chance of getting the interview. 90% of these people are going to get a rejection letter saying, sorry, but no. That is your sliding door moment. There and then, it's all over. You're out of the game. We want to keep you in the game. So what is it that's going to improve your chance for success? And I was thinking about it, and I was reading lots and lots of articles and trying to work out, what is it? And then it dawned on me, well, wait a second. Most recruitment decisions, rightly or wrongly, are made within 30 seconds. And in that 30 seconds, that person will make a judgment call. Am I going to read on, or is this person straight into the reject pile? By reading on, they're only looking for 3 bits of information that's going to tell them this. Number 1, has this person's academic credentials been relevant for what we're recruiting for? Number 2, has this person's career path to date been relevant for what they're recruiting for? And number 3, has this person got the key technical skills that I'm looking for? Because all they're doing is playing snap. They've got a job description with a kind of key requirements they're looking for, and then they're looking at your resume and they want to go tick, 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 snap, you're in. It's nothing more simple, nothing more complicated than that. And in reality, in that 30 seconds, they probably only got time to look at one place, which is page number 1. Because beyond that is going to take time to get there. So you've got to give them this information on page number 1. Think of it like a business tender. Page 1 is a top-level overview, and then you have backing documentation behind. And that's what a resume is. It's a business tender. Hey, you want to meet me for an interview. Now, I did an experiment a few years ago with some friends who were all saying, James, help me write my resume. And I was going, well, I'm not going to write your resume for you, but I'll help you structure it on 2 conditions. 1, a nice bottle of red, and 2, I just want to know what your hit rate is before, and I want to know what your hit rate is afterwards. So we got all their resumes together. Their average success rate was 10 applications to get 1 interview. I changed just the first page of each one of their resumes to that format. So just talking about their education, their core technical skills, and an overview of their career. And left the rest of their resumes exactly as they had it originally and sent them off again. Their hit rate went to 1 in 3. So in other words, they tripled their odds of getting an interview. How much better would life look if you got 3 times more interviews? Think of all those times you put an application for a job you really, really wanted and you didn't get it. That was a sliding door moment. Next time round, if you put in a resume which ticks the boxes that says to that person, pick me, I've got all the skills you're looking for, you are going to get the interview as opposed to get the rejection letter. That's what it's all about. Now, I can go on and on and on about how then you structure the rest of the resume, but that's the most important thing. Page 1, top level overview, the backing documentation goes behind. I would also say, as this picture alludes to, keep it to the point. You sometimes receive resumes which, if you print them off, you can't get a staple through. They are that thick. Trust me, the decision will be made ultimately by the end of page 2. Page 3, page 4 might get read on the day of the interview for a bit of talking points, backing information, but the decision to interview you is already there. Beyond page 4 will probably never get read, and just think of the environment. Another tree in Tasmania has been cut down unnecessarily because you've got a really long resume. So keep it to the point. Think of the law of diminishing returns. The job you did 10, 15 years ago is probably unlikely to make that person want to interview you compared to the job you're doing now. So keep it relevant, keep the information that's most important at the front, back in documentation behind, and you cannot go wrong. Honestly, it's that easy. This is shooting fish in a barrel, people, but it will make a huge, huge difference. Now, Obviously, I speak in generalizations. There will be times when somebody spends 10 minutes poring over every single word on a resume and contemplating it. But the reality is, if you've got 50 resumes, you're not going to spend 10 minutes reading a resume. And particularly as you've probably got other things to do with your life as well, you are going to play that game of snap, and you're going to want to identify people who hit those criteria, and particularly those technical criteria. They don't care whether you feel you're an outgoing people person, what your assessment of your own behavioural attributes are, because it's not relevant. They will be the judge of that in interview. They're not going to take your word for it because you've written it on a resume. So there you go. The humble resume, the single most important thing you will ever write in your life, because it is the ultimate sliding door document.